Hi, I'm back. And it's been a little while. Again, again. Yeah, I don't know. Haven't been feeling it much lately. Also been really busy. I don't know. Just things suck, kind of. I just haven't really been doing anything lately. I've just been like busy at work and stuff, and it kind of sucks, to be honest. I don't know. You want me, I go back to being friends. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm talking to anybody right now. I don't know if anybody's really watching, but um I've just had a lot on my mind lately. A lot of stuff that has to do with just like streaming and stuff. I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure it out. There's just a lot that goes into it. Let's go and transition over. Hi. Um yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody's watching right now, but I'll just start talking. Just been thinking about streaming for a while, and I don't know. I'm like wondering if maybe I should change some certain things here and there. Um, I don't know, man. I genuinely just I have no idea. I think for a long time I was thinking of streaming as like this is just a hobby, or at least that's what I would say. And I think the reality is that I've always wanted this to be more of a career. Um, but my excuse, my explanation about it to people has always been, oh, it's just a hobby. If it becomes a thing, then yeah, I'll stick with it. But otherwise, it's just a hobby. And I want to believe that just for my own sake, in case it never works out or whatever. But I think in the back of my mind, I've always wanted it to be something bigger. You know, not just you know, oh, that'd be nice, but like, this is what I want. I think. Um, but it just kind of sucks because like I don't know. There's some stuff that really conflicts with it. I can't really spend a lot of time streaming because I have a job. And unfortunately, my job doesn't pay like a lot, but I do really like it. I don't like it nearly as much as streaming, um, but it is paying the bills, you know, and I can't quite just quit that. And I would only really want to quit it if it was covering stream, or if the streaming was covering, paying bills and stuff. I don't know. By the way, transition to the game. I don't know. I It just sucks, man. Like I don't know if I was really if I'm the kind of person. Why does this? I don't know who this is. They keep sending. This is the second time they sent a friend request. Oh no, this is the same friend request. I didn't reject it because I couldn't quite remember if I knew this person or not. because their username is literally the letter X, and I cannot remember if I played with somebody that I'd want to add. I don't know, man. Anyway, I don't know, man. I keep saying that, but I'm just kind of I feel I'm at a little bit of an odd place right now where I want to figure it out. I want to have something more solidified because wearing myself out by going to work and then coming home and being tired and then going, okay, well, now time to start my second job. And then I stream. And, I enjoy the streaming, but then it's literally like, I mean, it's like a second job, man. I mean, talk about a cushy job, sure. But like when I just got back from a shift, like I'm tired, man. I have very low social batteries. I'm not a very social person. I don't like going out, but my job requires me to, interact with a lot of people in a day. And that's fine, but like, it's just having to do that and then come home and just be tired all day. I feel like it's not good for the stream. And then, there's all the stress that comes from work, not like, oh, I'm stressed because I work, not just that, but like also within work itself, there are additional stresses, right? There are different things that happen, you know, that just make things harder. I don't know. I don't know. I want to. I think I for a long time have wanted to be some kind of content creator. I think it's been a goal of mine for a long time. I think that's been the real thing for me. And I'm also really lazy. I like to put in the work for something that I know will be worthwhile, but it gets harder and harder to convince myself to do something if I don't think it's worth it. You know, and sitting down and making a YouTube video or writing a song or whatever, it's like I might really enjoy doing that. Might have a lot of fun with it. Might be very satisfied with the product, but at the end of the day, will I be making money off of it? Will it be worth it? I don't know. It's like harder to convince myself at that point. But you know what is really easy to do? It's just sit here and stream. At the end of the day, it's very open, very straightforward. I'm here, man. I'm not even talking to anybody. Nobody's watching this. You know? Bump my empty cup over. Uh, you know, I, like this is really, relatively speaking, it's very easy to do. So I like it a lot for that. But at the same time, I, I don't know. I want to put more into it. I don't want it to be so easy, but I'm not seeing enough of a result as is for me to go, oh yeah, I can invest into this. I think by now I thought I'd have a bit more going. And I don't know. I've been kind of really trying to think about like what can I do to make things better for myself, for the stream, um, for anything I can really. And just I don't know. I really just don't know what there could be. Like I don't know. I have other hobbies I've thought about pursuing, but then it's like it's the same kind of thing where it's like, is this going to be worth it? And is it going to be worth me wasting time? I mean, it's been so emblematic. I've been playing Deadlock, and I haven't played in the past few days because I I come home after spending most of my day at work, right? So I slept, spent most of my day at work, and then I don't have much time left before I should probably go to bed. And I have to go, okay, do I want to play Deadlock or do I want to stream? I have to choose because I can't do both because you're not allowed to stream the alpha. Okay, fine, whatever. Not a big deal. I'm not complaining about that. But the problem is, I have to make that choice. Which one am I going to do? And I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I choose one, sometimes I choose the other. And sometimes the choice stresses me out so much that I sit here at my computer doing nothing. I'm just scrolling through YouTube videos, I'm doom scrolling on some website, and I don't do anything, man. It sucks. And I don't know. That doesn't help anything, of course. And then I feel bad about that. So then the anxiety compounds on top of itself. Like it's just, I don't know, man. It gets worse. It just gets worse over time. I really don't want it to, but it just does, man. How in the hell did I get the Warlock armor? I haven't even played on my Warlock. It's really weird. Maybe they changed how collections work. But I don't know. Something that's been on my mind a lot lately is, how do I how do I go about Destiny right now? And this is a really sucky thing to be thinking about right now because I feel like right now in particular, Destiny's in such an incredible state. Like it's really it's it's in another renaissance, you know? And it could crash, it could get worse again. It's happened before where things got really good and then they got really bad again. You know, it it tends to happen. This is just the history that, Bungie has had. Um it could happen again. Um but right now it's in such a good state and so I feel bad for thinking of it like this, but like I don't know, man. It's making me wonder if I should stop playing so that I can play other games and stream other content and do other stuff. Because truth be told, as much as I love this game, it takes so much to keep up, and even just to do the bare minimum, and it stresses me out sometimes thinking about all the stuff I have to do, you know, and it sucks because like they time gate a lot of stuff, which I mean I'm not gonna harp on. Oh, this is Bungie's fault because duh. First of all, duh, all those things. Yeah, it's intentional stuff. I know, but I know all this stuff. I know all this going into it. But like, they time gate so much stuff that I'm like, you know, I don't necessarily want to play every single day, but then I feel like I have to play every single day to keep up with stuff, man. Cuz with work it's like, I don't have a lot of time. And then although I like streaming and I like playing Destiny, sometimes I like doing other stuff besides either of those things. For a long time my viewpoint for streaming though has been like let me just do something I enjoy doing and do it on stream and people will maybe watch. And that's worked so far, but the problem is like I don't know. I think people just don't really care much about Destiny. So like as much as I like the game, I don't know, it's like it's a mixture of things. It's like the time gating just makes it hard for me to enjoy the game. And then people just don't really care to watch the game all that much. And then, I'm already a small streamer, so it's like I'm not gonna have a major established fan base or anything that will show up for everything, no matter what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at like the act stuff. I'm looking at all the individual little things, and I'm just looking at all the things that haven't come out yet that are gonna come out, and that you can see, and you can see it, and it's available, but it's not available. It's visible. Sorry, it's visible, but it's not available. I can look at all the triumphs. Are they done? No, dude. That's not even the triumphs tab. You know what I mean. I can look at all the stupid Echoes triumphs. These aren't here, man. What are these? These aren't here, man. That's like an exotic mission, and that one's gonna be like the battlegrounds playlist, right? That's probably what it is. Now, I've said recently that it's become so much that I think I am done doing triumphs. I'm done with that. The stupid fishing triumphs broke me, dude. I'm done. I'm over it. Right? I think there's certain things I'm still gonna go for. I think for the most part I'm gonna go for really just everything else. But seasonal triumphs, I'm done. I'm done with them. Maybe if I get like 99 out of 100 of them done, then yeah, okay, fine. I'll go ahead and pursue that last one. Fine. But I'm not going to seek them out anymore? If it gives me a cool sparrow or shader or emblem, or even if it's not cool, if it just gives me any kind of actual reward, then sure, I'll do it. But I'm done. I'm done just doing the triumphs to do them, man. I don't know. I've barely even done the raid, man. Like, I like this new raid. It's very fun, but it's also incredibly long, dude. I appreciate them trying to outdo themselves with Nezrak, the Ron being so short and beatable and stuff. But like, I mean, did every jumping puzzle, all three of the jumping puzzles that existed, they have to be as long as they are? You know, did there have to be 5 encounters? I love the raid. It's a great raid. Um, Probably one of the best they've made, but it's such a slog, man. It takes forever. So I want to teach people this raid, and luckily all the surges got removed and stuff, so at least that's not as much of an obstacle. But like, you need to have a lot of time to teach somebody a raid in the first place. So adding all this extra time to a raid is just even worse, man. I've done like one Sherpa run, and in it we got through maybe to the fourth encounter, and then people had to leave because it took us so long to get there. Because it's a Sherpa run. What do you expect? Now that's fine, no big deal. But then when we finally got to the final boss, we had like a totally different group of people. It was like me and one other guy who was the original. That was it, man. It was crazy. And I'm like, I just don't know. Like, I love doing raids, and I love teaching raids specifically. It's like my favorite thing to do in the game, and I really just don't find myself doing it all that often. And now I feel like every time I get on, I think about doing the raid, and I'm like, do I really have enough time? And that's such an awful feeling. I'm like, do I have enough time to do the raid? Even right now, it's only 8:30. It's 8:35 right now, dude, and I'm still thinking like, well, I don't know. I probably don't have enough time for a Sherpa run. I'd have to just do a normal run with people who know what they're doing. And I'm like, that sucks, man. When am I ever gonna have time to teach people the raid? This sucks. And on top of that, it's not fair to them because like they probably don't have time to learn it either. You could have 4 hours and it might not be enough. It's crazy. Also, my work schedule. I mean, it's just been so stupid lately. I mean, it's really frustrating because somebody who is not part of our department is making the schedules and they're doing the worst job they possibly could. throwing them together haphazardly. It doesn't make any sense, man. I'm gonna have to like set my availability to be very specific just so I don't have 2 days off in a row. Like I don't want 2 days off in a row, but now that they've done that for me 2 weeks in a row, they've given me 2 days off in a row. I'm like, I don't want this. I want my days off spread out. I know some people like having a weekend. I don't like that. I need the I need to have one day as a break, and then I go back for 2 or 3 days, and then I have another day as a break, and then I go back for the other 2 or 3 days. So it alternates. Three work 3 days, break, work 2 days, break. Right? That makes so much more sense to me than work 5 days in a row and then get 2 days off. No, no thanks, man. I need a breather between those little segments. I can't socialize that much, man. And they've never done this before. I don't know why they ever would. And for some reason they started doing this not even on the weekend, just random days. So it's not like I'm getting the weekend off or something like that. Like just randomly they're saying, "Oh, we're going to put you off on these 2 days." Actually, I think to be fair it is like Thursday, Friday, so it's kind of the weekend. I don't know. Just it's so weird, man. And so that's like really stressing me out too, just outside of the game. I've just got so much going on, man. I just don't know how I could possibly have like the one thing people always say when they're like, in order to start streaming and like get viewers, you should have a consistent schedule. But like, how am I supposed to do that with with my current work schedule, man? I'd have to tell them I only work these days from these times. And I don't like doing that because then I get less hours, which means less money. Which, I mean, I wouldn't mind working less hours if, again, it didn't affect the amount of money I was making? Like, I'm already not earning a lot of money. Didn't know they added this. Is this available yet? Shaped or enhanced weapon. This memento will grant the weapon additional vanity options. Interesting. Also, am I maxed out on those? Where do I view my... Ah, okay. God, that's really ugly. It doesn't look good at all. I'll probably just keep the shader on. Um, it really is a shame so many of the mementos look like garbage. I think I will put on the Triumphant Keepsake just so that it's being used on something, and that way I can put the GM tracker on there for fun if I want. Also, off stream, I re-rolled for a bunch of Criminal's Daggers and didn't get a single one with the roll I want, so that's pretty cool. Might have to play some more Iron Banner this week. Yay. At least I'll just be playing for the sake of, getting engrams, and I won't have to actually worry about anything else. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I don't need to play today. Maybe I can just do something else. I love you madly. You really got a hold on me. Maybe this will be one of those streams where I start off by playing Destiny and then I go, you know what, actually I don't really feel like it. And then I just start chatting for a little while. But I always struggle with just chatting streams because people just tune out so fast. I don't know, man. Strong, now you really got a hold on me. you, and all I want you to do is just hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. I wanna experience another day. You really got a hold on me. I don't know, man. I'm wondering if I should have a more consistent schedule, but like I just don't know how I'd work that into my work schedule is the thing. Hold me, squeeze me, hold me. Just browsing through the Twitch category, seeing what people are playing right now. Not really anything out of the ordinary. Everything's kind of the same as how it always is. I don't know. I don't know. There's like the first Descendant. People are talking about that. I just, I think I'm gonna just do just chatting, man. I don't think I'm gonna play any Destiny right now. Maybe I'll decide on a different game. Yeah, I don't know. I scoot a little bit to the side, just slightly off center. I don't know. Yeah, what was that? What the hell is that game, Zenless Zone Zero? I just don't know anything about this. Oh God, it's all VTubers playing it, dude. They're like three face cam streamers in like the top five, and everybody else. What in the hell is this game, dude? It's got to be an anime game, right? Oh yeah, it definitely is. Oh God, why is it getting so hot in my room, dude? I turned my fan off because I thought the temperature was fine, but God, it's getting really warm in here. It's supposed to be late, man. It's supposed to be night, so the sun's going down. It's been raining all day, so it's not even that hot outside. Like, it started raining last night, and it didn't stop all day today until, like, just an hour ago. So it shouldn't be that hot, but man, my room is getting really warm in here. Don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This Zen Zone Zero game looks a little too like, no, that's not what it is, but it looks like enough of it has that light novel, not light novel, visual novel look to it, where it's like, here's a still of the character, and there, there's text, and maybe there's voice acting, but maybe not. Maybe only for the big characters. I assume there's probably also gotcha. And then the rest of it looks like it could be something along the lines of like Genshin style, slash Breath of the Wild style, moving around and whatever. So it's basically Genshin again. I don't know, man. I think there are things I'd like to do, things I'd like to learn. I just feel like I never have time for anything, man. It sucks being a grown up, you know? It's just the way it is, I guess. I don't know. And I feel like a jerk, complaining about the things I complain about because it's like it's a bunch of like first world problem style stuff. Because it's like, yeah, okay, you know, am I lucky? Sure, and I think that's entirely fair. If somebody is like, oh, at least you have like this or that, and I'm like, okay, you got a point. And so I feel like a jerk sometimes when I complain about stuff because it sounds so like privileged. I'm incredibly lucky, but I just I want to be able to do something in the field of entertainment. And sitting here streaming is, the best thing I've found. It's something that I can do without much interference, and just have fun with it. Um, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people haven't really been watching the streams lately too. But I don't know. Every time I start thinking that, then people suddenly start showing up, and I'm like, oh, okay, hi, and that's nice. It's always a nice surprise. I don't know. I just don't know what my like viewer base is. I don't know when they watch. I thought I knew, and now it's like I'm a little confused. What's the plan today? Hey, what's up? How you doing? Hi. Oh yeah, like now. Yeah, I'm speaking into the void. You happen to drop by. I don't know, man. I I'm not feeling great. Not sick or anything. Just I don't know. Trying to figure out like how to do things. Um, like what the future of my stream and stuff is gonna be. I was gonna play Destiny today, but I don't know. I'm feeling so burnt out, man. But I was talking about it's just a lot that stressed me out, man. I don't know, and it sucks because like I was just starting to get into how like it's a really privileged thing for me to complain about, you know? Like it's like when the rich guy is like, "Oh man, I've just got so much money and I don't know how to spend it." You know, it's like, I don't know, it's not fair. It's not fair to just be like, "Oh, this sucks." But you know, I I just I want to create things. I want to make some form of entertainment. I think that's the thing that I like doing. And I've tried getting into certain things, and streaming is the one thing that immediately started sticking out as like, hey, I could do this. This could be something. If not the main thing, this could be my gateway, my door to doing other things. And it was doing, I don't know, for so long now. I keep thinking like, man, I'm really improving and things are getting better. But then every once in a while, I look back at it, I'm like, but I don't know what's really going on with it, man. How much progress have I really made? I look at like my viewer count, and like it's nice that I get so many more viewers these days every once in a while. But there are so many days where I'm in like a major drought too, where it's like, I don't know. I mean, you know, before you showed up, I was streaming for like 45 minutes to nobody, and sometimes it's been longer than that where I'll be sitting there. And it's not your fault, you know. I'm not trying to guilt trip you or anything, but like I just don't know. It's probably my fault if anything. I just don't really know where or when people are watching. I don't really know what they like to watch me do, you know? I don't really know what category to stream in. Like after Final Shape dropped, I had a decent chunk of people hop in every once in a while, and that was nice for a bit. But then I started, you know, not I wasn't really taking advantage of that, and you know, paying attention to how that was going. I don't know, man. It's just there's so many games that I could play that I feel like, oh, maybe I'd get more viewers if I played this game. But then like I think about the game and I'm like, I just don't want to play that game though. You know? And it sucks because like I look at things, I look at the metrics too, which you're not supposed to do if you want to feel good about yourself. But you know, you also can't help but do it, right? Um, like I don't know, it's cool to say like, oh yeah, I've got 700 followers on Twitch. That's really cool. That sounds nice, doesn't it? 700 followers? When has anybody ever had 700 people in front of them that they know, man? Like that's crazy. But then like I don't know. You break it down and you're like, "Well, who are these people?" Cuz I don't really talk to most of these people every day. I think there's like about 20 or so people that rotate in and out that are my regulars, you know, or you know, at least I see them often. And there's maybe like 50 besides them that appear often enough and I'm like, "Oh, hey, good to see you. It's been a bit," you know, that kind of stuff. And then like everybody else is somebody I met one time. We, you know, had a good time talking to each other. They enjoyed the stream or whatever. Then I never saw them again. You know? And that's like the majority of the viewers or of the followers. So it's like so how true, and you know, not to mention all the bots and stuff that hop in and I immediately ban them. That was a good chunk of them for my first few followers. Let me change the soundtrack. It's just not going good. I don't know. And I've talked about it before. It's like streaming's not hard. I'm not gonna pretend it is, but it's you know, it is effort and it's time consuming and it's tiring, you know, and it's easy work, but it is work, you know? And I don't know, it kinda sucks to like again, like I don't want to complain about it or anything, because that doesn't seem fair. But but uh, it's something to be doing besides work and sleep. And so when I come home from a long day at work and I sit down to stream, I'm like already tired. Like I went and did work and now I'm going and doing my second job essentially. And I have tried to work two jobs before and it was rough on me. And it didn't help that, I was also trying to stream at the time too. So like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm very tired all the time. And I don't know. Again, I was complaining about a bunch of stuff. Pretty much all streams so far. Um, it just sucks. There's stuff just outside of the streaming world too that's just been rough. Like at work, they keep screwing up the schedule and scheduling people at times where they shouldn't be, and that includes me. And like, I like having my because of the streaming. I like having like my days off separate. So I like having like a I work 3 days and then I have a day off, and then I work 2 days and then I have a day off, and then I work 3 days and then I have a day off. I like that. It's nice. It works for me. I always feel so much more rested. But like if I work 5 days in a row, I get exhausted. And then I have 2 days off where I'm being incredibly tired because I'm so exhausted from all 5 of those days of working, which is like, to a lot of people, that's very normal. I think that's, you know, not good for me personally. It's not a good way for me to function. I've done that before and it really wore me out. And when I started doing jobs where I would instead work, a few days at a time and then have just one day off, I found it works a lot better for me. But then for some reason lately, the schedule has like had me have like 2 days off in a row, and it's like I don't want this. But it sucks because like what this means is I'm going to have to clarify to them because the current person doing scheduling is really stupid. They just are so stubborn about who does the schedule. Like there's literally somebody in our department who was trained before they got promoted to do the scheduling. Um, and then uh, they didn't give them the scheduling, and instead someone else is doing the scheduling. And when that person was like, "Hey, I'm totally willing and capable of doing the scheduling," they're just like, "Nah, I'm gonna do the scheduling." And we're all like, "Why?" And so there have been so many issues for a long time, for like 2 months straight. They were not releasing the schedule until like Sunday night, and they wouldn't release 2 weeks at a time. They would release that week. So you could be working Monday morning and you wouldn't know until Sunday night the night before. It's insane, dude. Um, I think the earliest I got it one time was like 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. I'm like, are you serious? I could have gone to bed and I wouldn't have known if I was working in the morning. Now you're lucky that I, of course, didn't am not the kind of person to go to bed at 9:30, but some people are that kind of person. What about them? They just don't know if they're working in the morning, like that's not fair. We got to be able, and it's not just about, oh, I work tomorrow, let me be ready. I could work tomorrow. Like if it was one day, fine. But like what if you're trying to make plans with friends and you don't know what your work schedule is? What if you're trying to go to an important appointment or something and you don't know what your work schedule is? I mean, it was just absurd, absolutely absurd. Um, Finally they got that kind of fixed, so it's a little bit better now. It's still not great, but it's a little bit better. But there's also this huge issue of it's just not scheduling people properly, and I'm gonna have to literally, and I don't want to do this because it'll mean I have more limited hours. Um, Instead of being open, I'm gonna have to say I don't work. I cannot work on these days, and I'm just gonna have to pick 2 days. It's gonna hardly matter. I could probably base it around whatever's more convenient for me. I don't know. Maybe I'll base it on like Destiny. I don't know if that's really even a good idea. I've done that kind of thing before, where it's like, hey, things get released in Destiny on Tuesdays. Maybe I'll have Tuesdays off. Maybe that'd be good. Um, and then I could have like Sunday and Tuesday or something, or Saturday and Tuesday, or Friday and Tuesday. I don't know, something spaced out a bit more. I don't want to do that though because I'd rather be able to work these open hours, and they don't want me to do that either because they need me to be available for certain days. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, so now you screwing this up for me has now screwed it up for you. Good job. Really, this is gonna be great for everybody. Um, I don't know. It's gonna suck, but I'm gonna have to fill out like a schedule. Whereas before I was saying, hey, I'm available any day, anytime, whenever you need me. Just let me know when I'm working. That's the only thing, and they weren't even doing that for a while. Whatever, man. I don't know, but I don't know. I so that's just like something totally outside of the streaming, but it's super impactful of it. Cause it's like, when am I like if I'm working these like I haven't had a day off in quite a bit now. It's been a little bit, and my next day off is like on Thursday or Friday, and I'm like, great. So I have to just wait. I know that's normal. Again, that's normal for some people. I don't think it's very healthy, and personally speaking, it's not healthy for me either. I'm like, all right, cool. So I had a day off. I had 2 days off in a row a few days ago, but I'd rather have like a day off now and then work a few more days and then have a day off and then work a few more days. I'd rather that be my schedule. That works a lot better for me. I don't need 2 days off in a row. I'm just going to get really tired at the end of the 5 days and then sleep like the whole first day off, getting nothing done. And then, on the second day, go, oh man, I slept through that whole day. Let me try to do things. And then I'd stress myself out and then be out of the habit of working because I haven't been working for 2 days in a row and be like, oh man, now I got to work and I got to wake up at the right time and I got to do this and that. It's too much, man. It's silly. It's silly and it's stupid. It's not just silly. It's idiotic. I don't know, man. I I don't love it. I don't love any of it. But again, that's like, it's one of those like, well, at least you got a job, you know? At least you got, at least you're making enough money to afford rent? I don't know, man. I just always feel like I got so much on my plate? I kind of thought that, streaming was like a very linear thing, where it's like when you get a viewer, when you get a follower, they watch your content. And I think this is a very foolish thing that probably a lot of people think. It's like, oh, you get one viewer and they just will watch your stuff forever. That's not true at all. And it's fine. People have their own lives as complicated as mine, if not more. Maybe even more stressful than mine. I'm not going to bash them for that. Yeah. And even like, I mean, hi, you're probably like you and like Kingdoms and then Vil and Virus, I think are probably some of my most consistent viewers. And like Wavy was for a long time, but each of you literally live your own lives. So every once in a while, like, you know, you guys just won't be there. And that should be fine. But, it gets depressing sometimes? I don't know. I haven't seen I don't know. I haven't seen Wavy in so long. I feel I messaged her a little while back, and she was just like, "Yeah, I'm just busy. I'm working." I'm like, "Okay," and she drops in every once in a while to say hi. But like, you know, then like Vil and Virus, they still drop by as often as they do. You drop by as often as you do. But there'll be, some days where all of you are not available at the same time. So I could, there could be 10 of you, let's say, that watch me regularly. Um, Ideally, there would be at least one of you who could be watching at all times. Just ideally from my perspective. From your perspective, you can watch whenever you want. There's no pressure. There's no stress or anything. Um, but ideally, it'd be nice to have somebody in chat at all times. Um, and having a combination of one of you guys, one of you regulars, and then like one person who only watches like maybe once every few months or whatever. But I have enough of those people that they cycle out a lot, but I, have one all the time. Having like two people in chat is like big, you know? Um, I don't know. Yeah, honestly, like having one person in chat is a game changer for anybody. It's a really big deal. It really is. Having anything more than that is incredible. I mean, nothing short of incredible. Um, I think some maybe bigger streamers tend to forget that, and I think I tend to forget that on those days. And then I remember on those days where, it's just me. And I'm just sitting there. I think those are the days where I remember how big of a deal it is to have just one person in your chat. The witness days, yeah. You know. I don't know. It's tough because like I think I lost at some point. I'm not sure exactly when. I feel like I lost a lot of momentum on my stream. I feel like for a little while, um, I was getting like a steady climb. Has Destiny content going? They releasing a lot. They are. I don't know. I was kind of talking about that earlier too. Um, I think my general consensus with Destiny is that I really like how things are right now. I think it's in a really good state, but there are some things that I don't like in particular, and it also just feels like I'm maybe not in a good position to play the game a lot of the time, and that kind of sucks. Viewers might also fluctuate with that since you usually play it. Yeah, yeah, it kind of sucks. Um, because I think it's still my favorite game. I think I really want to play more. Um, but at the same time, I feel like it's a job within a job. So like as a game, it is a job, you know, within the job of streaming, you know. And so it feels like it's almost a third job that I'm doing. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want to have to work three jobs and only get paid by one of them, you know? like like Destiny doesn't pay the bills, you know? Streaming Destiny doesn't pay the bills. I get some money out of it every once in a while, just streaming in general. But is it really helped much by playing Destiny in particular? No. In fact, I'd spend money on Destiny. Um, so it's not a gain; it's probably a loss, if anything, right? So it's really just I'm working one job to support my other two jobs. It's like I don't know, man. Now again, like I'm streaming and playing Destiny at the same time, but there's other stuff that goes into streaming besides the actual streaming, like taking care of your VODs and making clips for yourself because sometimes people don't make clips for you. Um, Commissioning art, commissioning various other things for people to do for you, like if you want to hire an editor or whatever. Which any of that stuff is like currently I just can't afford any of that stuff right now, and that kind of sucks. But like it's just that's how it is, man. And I think that's part of what stresses me out so much right now is um right now I'm saving up for a car because my current car there are I won't get into it, but there are a lot of reasons why I need to get a new one. It's luckily it's running fine. That's the only reason why I'm not getting a new one right now. Uh, but I do need to get a new car. That one will not last me forever, and it's technically not even mine. It's my brother's, and I've been technically been borrowing it this whole time, and I feel really bad for how long it's been, but I also haven't been financially stable. Yeah, the car known with a car problem. I mean, it's unfortunate. I said I was not going to get into the details, and here I am getting into the details. I'll leave it at that. I mean, there's just other stuff where it's just like I need to move on from this car. I need to buy my own car. Um, I I mean, when I first started streaming, when you started watching, hi, I was in a different car, and um, that car died on me. Um, and it was just as I was starting a different job that was, I mean, this was a few years ago now, I guess. But it was as I was starting this new job that I had to drive 40 minutes to get to that this car died on me. I had just gotten that job and I worked maybe one or two shifts. And so, as an emergency, I had to start using my brother's car, and then he got a new one for himself. But he's been paying for insurance, he's been paying for all that stuff. And it's like, well, what have I been doing? And I, since then, have hopped from a few different jobs, and none of them have really, uh, I have not prospered at any of them in a way that would, pay off my other debts and then let me start saving for a new car. Because I already have like other stuff I got to pay for. And finally, I've solidified. I've mellowed out at my current job, and I've been able to make money again instead of just spending the money I get from my paycheck immediately. You know, I don't know, and like part of me is like I don't want to have to talk about like money stuff on stream, but another part of me is like, well, I'm not gonna hide any of this stuff from you. I've always been pretty open about this in the past, so no reason to. And I mean, most of this stuff I've talked about before, so it's not like anything new. But but yeah, I don't know. There's just so much that's making me like I could keep going as I am. I could work this job, with the weird schedule. but pays enough money, and then I come home and I stream Destiny and nothing but Destiny, and not be getting a lot of sleep some days, but then be getting just enough sleep barely some other days, you know, not really playing any other games, just playing Destiny all the time, and using this old car that I desperately need to replace before it finally does die. I could be doing that. I could do that. And I've been doing that. But I'm feeling a sense of urgency, I don't think I want things to stay as they are. I think I want things to improve. And I am at a point in my streaming career and my life as a whole where I'm just like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. Do I need a different job that pays more so that I can, you know, put money into the stream and then improve the stream and then the stream gets better? Or do I keep working this current job and maybe stream a little bit less and try to focus on this current job? Because, like, I could definitely use the money. That's another thing, is just like, my current job pays me enough, but not by a lot, It'd be nice to be able to save more money at a time so that, like, this car thing could be more easily resolved. Like, I'm barely scraping by with rent while also trying to save for the car. Like, I don't have that much saved. I'm paying rent fine, but like, I don't have much saved. So that kind of sucks. It's just, I don't know. There's just so much going on, man. And so then I think about all this stuff all day, every day, you know? And then what do? I come home and I start streaming. I complain, I complain about it on camera. Because that's great content, isn't it? It's so fun. We have fun on this stream, boys. We really do. We have so much fun. I don't know, but like, I'm sitting here like trying to think of, like, what do I stream today? What do I do? Should I play more Destiny? I don't know. That's one of the biggest causes of my stress right now. Like, yeah, let's play the game that's, stressing me out the most right now. Like, really? Am I gonna do that? I mentioned earlier again, when nobody was watching. I mentioned earlier, like, and see, that's the thing, is like, it's the thing I've talked about before, where it's like, when nobody's watching the stream, you have to keep talking, you have to say something, you have to be doing something, so that when people do show up on stream, they don't just sit there in silence waiting for you to talk because you're already talking. They can then join in on the conversation. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to, start a conversation with the streamer, because what if they don't see your message in time? Nobody wants to watch a silent streamer. I say nobody, but some people do. I don't know. Depends on how hot they are, I guess. Remember this advice from a long time ago. I mean, it's less advice and more just an observation I've made. And so now, like, so I was talking about all this stuff is all I'm getting at. We've talked about this, so we don't need to get into that. But I've been playing the Deadlock Alpha. Great game, real fun, but you're not allowed to stream it. You're only minimally allowed to talk about it even. So I'm not going to go much into detail on what the game even is or any of that. Look it up for yourself. There's already leaked footage and stuff. It's pretty fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. But it's really opened my eyes. Not anything about the game itself, but the way playing the game has fit into my schedule, or lack thereof fitting into my schedule, has really opened my eyes in a way. Because, like, it's in alpha. I had to be invited to it by my brother, who got invited by a friend of a friend of a friend. It was a chain of people who invited each other to the alpha, and my brother happened to get it. And then he invited me. That's all it was. It's cool. I've been enjoying the game a lot. Again, it's really good so far. But the biggest thing about it being an alpha is that you cannot stream it. You just cannot. You cannot stream it. You cannot post videos of it. I don't feel like getting blacklisted by Valve, of all people, for something as stupid as playing a game that they told me not to or streaming a game that they told me not to stream, and I said, yeah, okay, I'll not stream it, and then streaming it. Like I'll pass on that. Um, Valve of all people. I mean, come on, who do you want on your black? Whose blacklist do you really want to be on? Definitely not them. Uh, I don't know what the punishment would be. I'm not about to take that chance though. So like I can't stream the game, but I really enjoy playing it. So then I end up playing it for quite a bit, and then staying up late because I don't really have any time to play it. I'm trying to play it within the hours that the online play is open, and then I stay up late, and then I go to bed, and I'm tired in the morning. I'm tired at work, and then I come home, and what do I think about? What do I think about when I come home? I think about, do I want to stream or do I want to play Deadlock? And sometimes I'll say, you know what, it's been too long, I really should stream. And then other times I'll be like, you know what, I just really want to play Deadlock. It's just such a fun game. And then other times, and I say other times, honestly, most of the time, like at least half of the time on its own, I will sit there debating on which one I will do. And then it will get so late into the night that either I will say, well, I definitely can't stream, so maybe I'll play a little bit of Deadlock before the servers shut down for the night. Or I say, well, I screwed up my opportunity and now I can't do either, so I guess I'll just go to bed. And it's like, that's such a stupid cycle to be in. But it's taught me a lot about, like, if I ever have anything else going on in my life besides work and streaming Destiny, I'm kind of screwed. I don't have anything else, or I don't have time for anything else. I just don't. Um, I'd have to, really find a way to squeeze it all together, or cut something out. And it just sucks because I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna stop streaming, but it's made me think, like, should I just focus more on my job and really try to save up money, get the car thing out of the way, and then when that's over and maybe I have a bit more money saved up in general, maybe then I can like focus more on streaming again? Or do I say, let me really try to lean into streaming, work the same amount that I'm working, but really try to, I don't know. I don't even know what. I don't know what I'd do. Is the solution to quit Destiny and play the most popular games I can? You know, is the solution to to have a streaming schedule like everybody says I should? You know, I don't know what the solution is here. That's the concern I have. Is like, I have a few ideas on things I could try, but at the end of the day, I just without trying them, but even before trying them, I just don't know. I feel like even after trying them, like, I just don't really know what works. I don't know what the solution is here. Because at the end of the day, if I had to choose, I wouldn't be working my job. I'd be streaming all day. That would be my job. You know? I like my job. Don't get me wrong. It's the best job I've ever had besides streaming, which so far has just been technically a hobby. But I have never liked a job more than the one I have right now. It's really good. I like it a lot. Does it pay well? No. It pays average. I can afford rent and groceries and stuff. I don't make a lot from it. But do I like it? Yeah, I like it a lot. Biggest complaint about this job is that it's not streaming, you know? And I want to stream. I don't know. About most popular. Yeah. I mean, I could yeah, life choices. I think realistically what I'd do is I'd try to focus more on indie games and just play a bunch of smaller indie games, those tend to pick up a lot of traction on my stream. I played Coffee Talk and I got a lot of new viewers, and then I never saw them again because I kept playing Destiny. And I feel like that's been the curse with Destiny is that I can go out and I can play other games. People will suddenly show up out of nowhere when I play those games, and I'm like, wow, this is great. I love this. But then the moment I start playing Destiny, people are like, oh, you're playing Destiny now. Bye. It's like, okay, I understand. I understand. But, like, it's rough, man. I don't know. And there is some stuff in Destiny itself that makes me go, do I even want to play this game anymore? You know? I mean, for a long time we've been complaining about all the monetization stuff, right? And then, like, one of the biggest things to me right now is, like, the time commitment, man. I mean, I don't know if I can anymore. The newest raid came out. Again, this is another thing I talked about before you showed up on stream. The newest raid came out. It's really good. It's such a good raid. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got pretty good mechanics. It's very fun. Really good raid. Problem is, even in a non, like, if you just did a normal LFG run where everybody knows what they're doing, but you're not like friends, you don't vibe well, it's just a bunch of randos, right? But you all know what you're doing. It would still take you several hours probably to get one full clear. Purely because there are 3 jumping puzzles, and they are the longest jumping puzzles I've ever seen. And between these 3 jumping puzzles, there are also 5 encounters that you have to do. Um, and like the first 3, you could probably breeze through. The fourth one might take you a while. And actually, the second one might be a damage check for not necessarily a damage check, but you have to fight a boss. So like if you mess up on damage, there are a lot more ways to mess up on damage than a normal like mechanics encounter, right? Because you have to do the mechanics and then fight the boss, right? And that goes for the second encounter and the final encounter. And then the fourth encounter is like one of the hardest ones to do if you're newer. Like it's kind of an attrition thing. You got to make sure nobody's dying and everybody's doing the mechanics perfectly and nobody can mess up and everybody has to know what they're doing. So even if everybody knows what they're doing, you could mess up and it could screw over the entire encounter. And so on its own, the raid just takes so long to do. But you know what my favorite thing to do with raids is? Not just do them. I like teaching raids, right? I talk about it all so much more than I end up doing it because it always comes down to this. I'm always so busy with all the seasonal stuff, all of the expansion stuff, all the triumphs and the seals and all the little things here and there, collecting all the adept weapons and the exotics and the getting the best roll I can on every single legendary and just like every single little thing, man. And just like I don't know, for a while I've not had a line. I've not had a line of okay, I will collect stuff, but this is where I draw the line. I just haven't had one where so I'll just go out of my way to collect everything and do everything. And so then when I think about like, well, let me do a raid, it's like, oh, well, I need to send some time. I need to reserve some time for a raid. I need to have enough time in the day for a raid. I can't do a raid right now. So imagine me trying to teach people how to do the raid in the first place, and you know, needing that extra time because, of course, when you're teaching people, they're not going to get it right the first, second, or even 5th or 10th time. Sometimes it'll take them a lot of attempts to finish the encounter, no matter how good your explanation is. Um, and some teams are different. Some teams will get it done first try. You know, it depends. But for the most part, you're gonna take a lot longer to do a Sherpa run. It's my favorite thing to do in the game. I love helping people out in the raid. I love teaching people stuff. I don't know. It's such a fulfilling part of the game, and it's genuinely my favorite thing. But this raid itself is so long. Adding on all the time it would take to teach every single encounter. Now, some of them are a bit easier because you can use information from previous encounters, but not by much. It's still a lot. And when you're dealing with new players, their loadouts might not be optimized as much. They might not know what's meta right now. Maybe they came back after several seasons of not playing. there's a lot. So it's just this raid on its own being extra long and then having to Sherpa people, it adds so much time. And so like I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, even if I have the time for it, sometimes the people I'm teaching don't have the time for it. They don't have the time to learn the whole thing. And that's, not fair to them to say, okay, I'm going to teach you the whole raid. And then they're like, sorry, it's been 4 hours. I got to go to bed. And I'm sitting here like, well, I still got like 2 or 3 hours in me, but like, you do what you got to do. No big deal. Hit me up next time. And that's a nice thing to say, but like, you know, it's a major time commitment for me to say all that to them, and to be like, oh, well, just knock it out real quick or whatever. I don't know. And so I feel bad about that. And, it's like, it's made me not want to run the raid. It's made me not want to do Sherpas of the raid because I just feel like it's more than I'd like to get into. I don't know, man. And then there's like all the time gating for like, and luckily like the next act for the episode that they have right now, they're like releasing all of it at once because they heard feedback and they're like, hey, we understand people are annoyed at the time gating, so we're gonna release all of this at once so you can just go at your own pace. And I'm like, okay, that helps a little bit. But even then, it's still like seasonal style content where everything is like so spaced out, man. At least made it easier for the next year. But hey, so true, so true. I don't know. I get so frustrated with the time gating in Destiny sometimes where I'm just like, I wish I could do this thing. I don't have anything else I need to do right now except for this thing, but I can't do the thing because I gotta wait for them to say that I can do the thing. That I need to wait for Bungie to flip the switch that says, oh yeah, people can do the thing now. And like I'm really tired of that. I think a lot of people in the community are very tired of that. And I understand why they do it because in Destiny 1 they would just release stuff. It would be in the game and then people would just complete it in like a week. You'd do the entire expansion, all the exotic stuff, all the secret missions, all the little snippets, all the little tiny little collectibles, every single thing you could possibly do, they would get done in a matter of days, and then nobody would play the game for weeks and weeks and months until finally they dropped another expansion. It's the reason why they swapped to this model. I get it. I totally get it, but it sucks because like you know, for those of us who, do play a lot but still have a lot to do, and I would space it out myself. I would get a lot done at once, but there would be other things where I'm like, okay, I'll do this today, and then I'll do that next week, and then I'll do this next week. I I would do that myself, but instead I'm being told what I can and can't do here and now. It's like, okay, this weekend we're playing Trials of Osiris. Next weekend we're gonna be playing Iron Banner a whole bunch, and then next week after that you got to make sure you grind the Nightfalls, and then after that make sure you keep up with the story missions, and after that you need to grind out this. Like, come on, man! Like, stop telling me like what's available. Let me choose. Give me at least a few options. It's just I don't know. It's too much sometimes, man. It's too much sometimes. I mean, people have been complaining about the raid rotator. I mean, with how many raids we have right now, we don't need a raid rotator anymore. We don't need a current raid and then one of like 7 different rotating raids that come in and out, and you have to wait for the right week just to go back and play that old raid. Why? Now, you can technically go play that old raid, but you won't get any good loot out of it. You can't go grind it. You can't go farm it. You can't even play it on Master. You can't even do any of the challenges really, except for whatever the weekly one happens to be. I mean, it's crazy. I feel like at least what they need to do is put like 2 or 3 raids on the same week at a time, at least. If not, if not remove the requirement, the time gating entirely. And that's just like one aspect of it. There's just so much that goes into it. So it's like, having to check in every single day to do my, daily checkup on the game is just, it's so much there. And I don't really have to come in every single day, but sometimes it feels like I do. And then sometimes I log in, like today, and I just go, wait, I don't really need to do anything. I don't have anything to do. And that sucks, man. Like I'm literally waiting for next week to drop now. I could go do the raid. Yeah, sure, I could go do the raid. I haven't done the campaign on my Warlock. I've only done a little bit of the campaign on my Titan. I'm so far behind, man. But the more I think about all the stuff I haven't done, the more it stresses me out, man. And then I start thinking about like, well, I should really get it done before such and such date. And it's like, well, why? Who cares, man? What difference is it gonna make? I haven't touched my Warlock since the expansion dropped, man. It's been so weird. I've literally just been playing on my Hunter. It's very strange, but at the same time, I haven't even been playing all that much. Just yeah, I don't. Games are supposed to be fun, and it just when it feels like a chore, it's just not fun anymore. But it's like, so then I'm like, okay, so what are the parts of it that make me like the game? It's like, well, doing the Sherpas, but it's like, okay, if I'm doing Sherpas, it's gonna be for the current raid, and I was just talked about how exhausting that is. So okay, I don't really want to do that. GMs, well, I could do some GMs, and that'd be all right. But if I do GMs, I'm probably gonna want to be on my Warlock to have an easier time. But oh, I haven't done the campaign on my Warlock, so you know what I'm gonna have to do is the whole legendary campaign on my Warlock, so I can get that exotic to drop at the end, you know, and then, uh, you know, after that, make sure I have everything up to power, which to be fair is a lot easier to do these days on your secondary and tertiary characters. Like they really fixed that system, and it's really good. But it also makes me think, well, I really don't need to do it now. That I don't need to rush at all. I don't know, man. Man, what I used to be. Oh man, oh my, oh me. And I mean, it doesn't help that a lot of my friends have stopped playing this game. You know, I think that's the part that really stings. I think every single day, um, like I keep in touch with Lou. I talk to him on Discord all the time and stuff, but we don't really play games much anymore. And he's busy with his job. I'm busy with my job, but even besides that, he just doesn't play Destiny anymore. Even Gears, like Gears has been playing more Destiny than I do, but oftentimes, he's playing with his clanmates or his friends. It's in real life. Heather's got her clan and her friends to play with as well. And then I have like a whole bunch of other friends who I used to play all the time with, and just I don't know, they either don't play at all, or they don't play as often, or I just haven't seen them in a bit, and now it just feels weird to contact them. I'm really not good at keeping up with my friends. It's just something I've historically been kind of bad at. So like my friends from like high school and college, like I in my heart, I'm like I wish I could see them, but I also think, well, it's a lot of effort to reach out and talk to them and say, hey, I'd like to hang out again. And then another part of me, the angry part of my brain says, well, if they're not talking to you, then they're probably not interested in hanging out with you, which isn't necessarily true because they're probably doing the same thing I'm doing, where they're going, well, I haven't talked to him in so long, and it's been too long. It'd be awkward to suddenly say, hey, do you want to hang out? Whatever. It sucks, man. It sucks. I don't know, man. I have the same problem. Yeah. It's just it's terrible, isn't it? So I'm just trying to I don't know, I'm identifying this is something I've been good at for a long time is identifying problems. Uh the problem I have with that ability of mine of identifying problems is that I don't always know the solution to the problems, but I'm really good at identifying them. I can go, hey, I know it's wrong. I'm really good at that. I know exactly what's wrong. I know exactly what the issues are. Do I know how to fix them? Sometimes. Usually not though. You know, like habits. How do I fix my habits, man? I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. I couldn't tell you anything about that. I don't know, man. I just get so burnt out thinking about it all, and then I'm very conflict avoidant, you know, and conflict can include stress too, where it's just like if something gives me stress, my automatic response is to just avoid it. And it really doesn't help. Like I was talking about how I'll come home and I'll be thinking, should I play Deadlock or should I stream? You know, right? And what's my solution? Neither. Do neither. Yeah, what a great idea. You know, like let me do neither. Let me sit here on YouTube for hours and hours and hours thinking about, do I want to stream or do I want to play Deadlock? Not making any compromises, not thinking about it, not bothering to, you know, choose one or the other. It's just like, nah, I'm gonna do neither because I don't want to think about it. It's so stupid, man. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for it. Nah, that's fine. You don't need to. Not your job. I don't know, man. There's just so much stress. There, there, there really is a big part of my brain that grows and grows that says maybe you should just quit Destiny. Maybe that's the solution. And it sucks because like part of me thinks like if I quit, then I'm like a liar, right? Because I've always said like how much I love this game, and I really do. But another part of me is like, but I think it might be like better for me if I just leave and I don't come back, you know? I don't know, man. And I know that like even if I did say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna quit, I totally won't. That's the other part of it. It's like I'm definitely not gonna actually quit. I'm gonna say I'm gonna quit and then not play as often, but then feel like an idiot for not playing that much, and then go play, you know? Yeah, it's okay to like a game and not play it all the time. Yeah, it's just that's what's frustrating about Destiny as it is right now. As much as I like the game as a whole, it is um not good at respecting my time. And not just my time, just the player's time. It is constructed in a way that specifically says you need to spend your entire time playing this game and doing nothing else. Um, and that is very annoying and frustrating. Um, and there's really not, yeah, there's not really much to do about it if you want to play the game and even mildly keep up with it. You need to do a lot of stuff, you know. It's just one of those games where there's time limited stuff and needs grinding to keep up. Yeah, I mean, we've all had that experience of, you know, you see something where somebody's talking about like, don't forget to do this. You need to PSA, go do this right now in Destiny. But then you look at the date on it, and it was like 3 days ago, and so it's already gone. You're like, oh. Or like somebody's like, yeah, that was a crazy thing that happened. That was a really cool thing. There's a big thing that's happening, and you're like, oh, when's that? And they're like, oh, it already happened. And you're like, oh. There's a lot of that in Destiny, and that sucks, man. I don't want any of that garbage. I don't want that to happen again. And yet it happens regularly. Um, I guarantee you, if I took a week off and I didn't play Destiny for a week, there'd be stuff I would actually miss. Actually miss. Not just fake stuff that I'm making up, but just like real things where it's like, no, you missed your chance to get this thing. And I'd be like, wow, that sucks. Literally, I went on vacation with family one time, and finally Zur was selling this armor that he had never sold before, ever, never once sold it before. And so you know what I did? You know what I had to do? Maybe admitting this is not good because Bungie's really strict on this kind of stuff. This was years ago now. This is the only time I've ever done this. I actually sent Gears my account information so he could log in and spend legendary shards at Zur just to buy that armor and then log out. That was it. So stupid. So stupid that I did that. So stupid that I felt the need to do that. And yet I did. Why? Why? Why was Zur selling that armor that week? He'd never sold that armor before. He'd sold the same like 5 armor sets on rotation week after week after week. But the moment I'm out of town, he's selling that one armor set that I was missing. Why? Why? To this day, there's a pair of gauntlets on my Titan that I don't have because I didn't happen to get it from the Tangled Shore back in the day. You know? It's the Scatterhorn gauntlets. I could go grind Dares of Eternity. That's the only place that it drops from. And maybe I'd get it to drop, but there's no way to focus your drops at Dares. So like, why even bother at this point? I've kind of thought that. I'm like, let me just see if Scatterhorn armor ever comes back in some other form, then I'll bother with it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna go farm Dares of Eternity. Or like if I happen, anytime I do happen to play Dares, I'll play on my Titan just in case, just in case I happen to get the drop, which I never do. It's literally like already a one in however many chance of it being any of the armor pieces from that set, and then for it to be specifically the gauntlets, which are the only things I'm missing, incredibly rare. At that point. So it's just like it's so not worth grinding for right now. I don't know. It sucks because like I hate to be so negative about the game, but I just the way it's fitting into my life right now, it just doesn't work. And it sucks because like I want to play the game. I want to be a big part of the community. I want to be a player of this game. You know, but I'm seeing how much time it takes away, and I've seen it for a long time now. And if I didn't have to work, or if I, got paid to play Destiny or to stream Destiny, maybe, um, then I'd be fine, right? I could spend my time playing the game. I'd be making money, and then I'd, get all the stuff done in Destiny that I want to get done. But that's not the life I'm living, man. As much as I'd like for that to be, it's not the life I'm living. And again, like Deadlock's really opened my eyes to that because I've spent time trying to stream and play Deadlock and go to work and sleep, all cooperating with each other, and it's not something possible. Not in any configuration that makes any kind of sense. Now maybe I could try to be like, oh, I'm going to play Destiny on these days, and I'm going to tell my work that I can't work on those days, and then I'm going to play other games on these days. And maybe that's something I should try. Maybe that's something I should try is being very strict and specific about my schedules. But the problem is I've tried not quite to that extent, but something similar. And then when winter rolls around, I just need as many hours as I can get because my work does not do as well during the winter. So they really cut the hours there whenever they can, man. And it sucks. I'm like, man, I got to get any hours I can. So if I start saying, oh, I can't work on this day or that day, like I did last year, suddenly they're like, okay, sure, you don't have to work those days. But also, we're not going to be putting you on the schedule for these days because we're going to be closed on those days. And I'm like, okay, what the hell, man? But like, I need those days. I need to work, man. And so then it's like, okay, well, do I get a second job? No, I've already got like a second job streaming, and like, the worst part is that I'm not getting paid for it. It's like, I don't know. It's again like I am complaining about all this. Of course it could be worse. I always know that in the back of my mind, which is why I spend so much time not complaining about it. But like, god damn, I'm stressed, man. Like I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do here at all. It's just there are a few options I have, and none of them are good. None of them are good. All of them suck in their own different ways, dude. It's like, yeah, I could quit Destiny, my favorite game that I've spent hours and hours playing and genuinely love playing, by the way. Yeah, I could quit this game. Sure, fine. Yay. So much happiness is just gone now, I guess. Bye. That sucks, man. I could quit my job. That's probably the worst option. Unfortunately, that's probably the worst option because I don't have anything to replace it. You know, nothing else is making that money. It's only coming from that, and I like the job. Again, like I don't want to quit it. The only reason why I would quit it is if the streaming did take off, which it's not. It's like no, I'm not going to quit my job. It's the worst option. Um, the other options are like, okay, well, make like a very rigid schedule. But again, like I was saying, like if I have a specific schedule, they're going to cut my hours when the winter comes because they cut everybody's hours because we're just closed for like, you know, 2 out of the 7 days of the week. So I have to work all of those other 5 days if I want to be making the same money that I was during the summer. Or at that point, then I do need to get a second job. And it's like, why does it have to be like this, dude? It sucks. It sucks so bad, man. This place sounds awful. It's a really good place. I know I can't. I know it's hard to express how much I do like this job. It's a really good job. As far as what it means to me and the work. It's a really cool place. It's very unique. Um, Again, I just can't get into specifics just because of doxing, whatever. But the fact of the matter is that we are closed for like Monday and Tuesday throughout most of the winter. So, you know, there's a good chunk of time where if I want hours, I just have to work the days that they give me. And during the summer, it's not like that. We're just open every day. We're busy every day. The hours are the same no matter what day. But it's not like that in the winter. So like I could try to get into a schedule of, playing Destiny in a certain way and being like, I'm gonna play indie games on Tuesdays or on Thursdays or something, and then like on Tuesdays I'll play what's new in Destiny, and every day I'll play Destiny, but then on this day I have Tuesdays or I've reserved for indie games, and I'm working most days, but I have this day off, and I'll just play a game all day that day, or I don't know. I could do something like that. That's what I've been thinking about doing. But again, it's like, come wintertime, I just have to throw that plan out the window. It's just gone. Or I have to move those days into the days that they're going to automatically have me not scheduled for. And that sucks because, again, like, having those 2 days off in a row is really terrible for me. I just don't like that. It doesn't work well for me. I just end up feeling exhausted all the time. I don't know, man. There's just so much that goes into all of it. And I'm an optimist at heart. I think it'll get better at some point, but I've been thinking it'll get better for a long time now, and it hasn't really gotten much better. Not a fan of the 5 day work week. Yeah, yeah. I can live with it. I don't love having to work 5 days a week. Feels like school. I can live with it though if I have more spaced out days off. But if it's 2 days off and then I work five in a row, that it just wears me out too fast, man. But it sucks because like I keep thinking about other stuff. Like I want to like get healthy and exercise and lose some weight. When am I gonna exercise? when am I ever gonna have time to exercise? I keep thinking like, oh man, I should make time to have breakfast in the morning. Okay, when? When am I gonna do that, man? I am I gonna go to bed 2 hours early? you know, so that I can exercise and make breakfast in the morning, you know? No, man, I'm gonna, you know, barely get enough sleep to function for the next day. Wake up with barely enough time to get ready. I'll rush out the door, have a Pop Tart or something, and get to work and just eat at work for lunch, you know? That's what I've been doing. It's not great, but in order for me to be able to afford paying rent, that's what I do. Sorry, let me rephrase. In order for me to afford paying rent while also having time to stream, that's what I do, you know? And I don't want to stop streaming. That's probably the worst option. Just to, I want to say, for my heart at least, it's the worst option. Because I could quit my job. That's a terrible option. That's the worst one, probably. But in every other sense, if I quit streaming, that's the worst option, you know? So it's almost like maybe the second worst option, but I don't want to understate it. I mean, it's really a bad option. I don't want to stop streaming. I don't know. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. Um, need to use the restroom. Let's see. Let me check something real quick before I go use the bathroom. I don't know. Yeah, tired for 5 days just to laze around and recover for those 2 days. Yeah, it's like you don't get anything done outside of work, you know? What's the point of having those days off? Because, you know, having days off, like part of it is nice because you're resting, right? That's a big part of it. But another part of it is being able to fulfill your hobbies and do other things. And that's like, you know, a big deal to a living person, you know? Like you're not just supposed to spend all day working and sleeping and that's it. Like, you know, you're supposed to enjoy things in life. You're supposed to live a little, you know? Now work is very fulfilling and very important, not just, you know, so you can make money, but for your own satisfaction, for your own fulfillment, for your own self-worth, right? It's good to have a job, right? But if your job is literally just there for you to make money and that's the only thing you have going for it, it's a bad way to live. And yet that's, you know, that's how it is for a lot of people, myself included, you know? I don't see anyone at all after work. Yeah. You know, I don't really hang out with my coworkers, you know? They're all really cool people. They're all really nice and all. Um I mean, some of them are just a lot younger than me, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna hang out with you. That's just they're not even like teenagers or anything. They're like 20, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to hang out with you. I don't know, you know. No offense to any 20-year-olds, but I'm 26, man. It's just it's different, you know. I'd like to talk to people my own age, at times, you know. Like I'd love to sit and chat with, you know, anybody of any age. You know, I get along well with like my nieces and nephews, of course. You know, and they're kids. I know a few like really young people at work who are old enough to work, but not my age. You know, and then I know older people too. Like I can get along with anybody, any age. That's not the issue. But if I want to hang out with somebody, I'm probably gonna hang out with somebody like my age, maybe a few years younger, maybe a few years older, but not by a lot, you know? somebody who, is understanding of my generation. It's just how we are. It's just how we are as people. We prefer that kind of stuff, you know? What do I have in common with a 19-year-old right now, dude? Not much. I don't know. Maybe some memes here and there, but I mean, even then, I feel like it's pushing it sometimes. Let alone anybody like really younger than that. I mean, my nephew. I mean, I'm talking to him sometimes about stuff. He's like 10 years old, and I mean, he's Gen Alpha. He's totally different about stuff, and it's different because he's just a kid. So I don't have to really know a lot of stuff about the stuff he's talking about. But it's weird. I don't know. Their memes are too advanced. Not even, man. It's the same stuff. It's just different. It's the same kind of stuff, but just physically different. Like if I sat down and researched their memes, I'd find out that it's literally the same kind of jokes that I've been making from my memes, from the memes that I consume. But they're just not the same. It's not from the same background, not from the same culture, so to speak. But even then, it's just like, I don't know. There's just something different about hanging out with people your age versus hanging out with people um, significantly older or younger than you. And even besides that, a lot of the people at work that are nice and they're fun enough people. I get along with them. I don't necessarily want to hang out with them. They're just coworkers. It's just like I just know you and that's it, man. Um so it's not even just like an age thing too. It's like a do I even like you kind of thing? Like I mean we get along at work, but do I actually like you? I don't know. I don't know if I want to find out that I don't actually like you because then at work I have to start pretending that I like you. Whereas right now I can just passively like you enough so that we don't both feel miserable talking to each other. But if I really hang out with you, I might find out, oh, I don't actually like this person. you know? I think there's some of that at work. Like, oh man, you have way different political beliefs or whatever. And I really did not care to learn that. But now that I know, I'm going to hold it in the back of my mind and go, man, I don't really like this person. Something like that. I feel that acceptance towards myself. Yeah, it's so true. I don't know. I like this relationship we got to work, but I don't want to hang around, make you not like me. Oh, you meant like the other way around. Yeah, that too. It's like, I don't know, like when I'm at work, I have like a certain persona I put on. That's a very like I'm so cool, look at me, cool guy persona. Sometimes I'm a goofball, or I'm just weird enough to just be funny, and that's like my only goal. Because my goal 100% of the time when I'm talking to people is to be funny. I don't know what it is, but it just and it doesn't work a lot of the time. But it's just how it is. But I'm just always trying to be funny to people, or at least entertaining somehow. Um, but if I'm ever not doing that, then I'm trying to portray myself as like being kind of cool looking and whatever. And I'm sure that's not how I'm perceived. I'm sure some people just think I'm kind of weird or whatever. But that's just the way I act. And I try to be nice and helpful and all that as well. But I think in my mind, I'm portraying myself as just being cool for that stuff. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of like self perception versus reality kind of stuff in there, so I don't really know. But I don't know. I'm thinking about it now. I'm gonna make it a goal to go hiking this weekend or something. Hey, go for it, man. Just yeah, I think part of me, I really do like camping, but I think part of it is also like, are you trying not to get eaten by a gator? Yeah, watch out for them gators. Nah, you'll be fine as long as you're not in the swampy areas. There's some improvements I want to make to the stream, and the general Carnome experience. Um, some some stuff that comes to mind is various channel art things. I realize I can have channel badges for subs. I'm like, that'd be cool having something like that. I could probably just put an emote there as one, but I feel like that's too easy. I can do something better than that. Other stuff like banner art and things like that. More emotes, of course. Unfortunately, this is all like I'd have to commission people, so like, maybe not. At least not right now, right? But even like that, I keep thinking of other stuff. Like, I look at the Discord and I go, you know what? There might be too many voice channels, or there might be too many text channels. There might be too many channels that people just don't really care about, that they don't really post in, stuff like that. It makes me wonder about it. I don't know. I mean, I look at some of these channels and I go, does anybody ever post here? I feel like I haven't seen people posting in the Discord all that often. You know, not that like I don't know. I don't know. I just lurk there. Yeah, I think probably most people who care about the server do, and then everybody else is just kind of there either vaguely, you know. I don't think anybody really uses it to actually hang out all that much. And I guess that's fine. It's serving its purpose, but I don't know. So I've been wondering if there's maybe something I can do with the server to make it like a little better. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's fine as it is, and I just need to, the community just needs to grow in a more positive direction, as far as just, people engaging with the stream in general. And then those people will just start using the server, you know, and then that'll solve itself. But I don't know. I'm really not too sure. Uh, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in a second. I saw Silvera got online, and I haven't talked to Silvera in a little while. It looks like they're just doing just chatting as well. So maybe we'll just collab. I don't know. I'm gonna DM them, see what's up. It'll give me something to do besides playing a game. And right now I'm kind of debating on what I want to even be doing right now. So I don't know. Could be good. I'll be back in a bit though. I gotta use the bathroom. Alright, I'm back. And I brought snack. Care for some trolley sour bright crawlers, otherwise known as sour gummy worms? Dude, I should trim my fingernails, dude. They're not like super long or anything, but they're long enough to be inconvenient. And I am like, this is my like third time having to open a soda can today, and every time I've been like, oh no, I don't want to like bruise my finger by like trying to lift it and then bending the fingernail backward. Not to get too gross here, sorry, but I really don't want to do that. And it's on my mind because I accidentally did it. Like, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before I did it. I'm like, God damn it, why? So I'm trying to be more careful now, I guess. I don't know. Just trying to get my Baja Blast, man. In the stars now. Dropped into Silvera's stream. She seems to be doing a world building stream. About like a fantasy world, I guess. Some story she's writing or something. I'm not too sure exactly. Um, I've had a history of being a bit of a writer myself, amateur, of course, not like professional. Um, it's one of my interests in life, but it's a lot harder to find success with that than it is to find success with streaming. You know, much less instant gratification, of course, as well. So there is that. Oh no. La, 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 oh no. Hmm. Problem is, like, I don't know. Sometimes I get so averse to my interests. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I'll be like, this is something I care about. I don't want to talk to other people about it. I don't know why. Not with everything, of course. I think it's stuff that I'm usually frustrated with myself about, probably. And then I project my insecurities upon other people. Or something like that. I don't know. Let's see what Silvera's saying. Still doing You know, it occurs to me. Um, ba, 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 ba. My alerts or my labels that I spent so much time working on are no longer accurate. The tipper one doesn't even help anymore because I got rid of tips and I'm only doing throne now. So that's cool. All right. Well, I think I'll have to fix that on Stream Elements. Let me find that real quick. Mm-mm-mm. I guess we'll play the music again. Hmm. Na, 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 na. Ay, ay, ay. The sun is fun, the land is sandy. I only talk to dogs because they don't understand me. My teeth are yellow. Hello, world, would you like a little better if they were white like yours? Just seeing if there's any way to. Hmm. Can I add one? Label. I know you guys can't see any of this, but I'm trying to see if there's a way to add throne. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. I think the only thing I can really do is remove the tipping option entirely. Unfortunately, that's not the one. That's the one. Now we save it, and just like that, here we are. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with the stream now. Um, I don't think I'm gonna play a game really. Hmm. Welcome back, hi. Good to see you. I know it all. My fans go. My fans go. But did I miss nothing? I got back. I got snack. That's it. Got me some trolley sour bright crawlers, more colloquially known as sour gummy worms. I was mentioning how I dropped into the Silvera stream briefly. Oh, I never did say bye, so I don't know if she thinks I'm still in chat or not, but it looks like someone else is chatting, so it's fine. There are other people watching. That's good. Um, seems like. Sorry, I got distracted. Seems like Silvera's doing like some writing adjacent stuff, like world building stuff. Um, I have tried doing writing streams a long time ago. People didn't care. I'm not sure if I did them as a VTuber. I think I only ever did them as a Flush tuber, IRL. They've been playing old school games. Yeah. You know, unlike me. They actually play games and stream consistently. Isn't that crazy? Can you believe streamers do that sometimes? Not here. Exclusive at twitch.tv/Carnome. Inconsistent streams of literally just Destiny and nothing else. Occasional mental breakdowns. Occasional at least once a week. Unique to twitch.tv/Carnome. Can't see it anywhere else. It's good to rant once in a while. Yeah, but like I rant all the time though. How much is too much, man? That's a question I gotta start asking myself. Well, I appreciate that. Hi. Glad to know that there are people who care every once in a while, you know? I think in the back of my mind I know, but it's always good to get a reminder here and there. Leaving in reverse. How about the girl? She comes. You know, I was looking into cars. You know, haha, pun intended, gnome stuff, right? Um, anyway, I don't really know much about cars, which is the irony of my username. A lot of people seem to think I do. I don't really care much about cars. I just live in them, man. That's all it is, all right? And I'm trying to find a new one to live in, right? Um, I was looking at different prices for different cars, trying to find something that's like, fuel efficient, affordable, something that I can pay off the loan for without too much pain and trouble. And then I'm trying to become the real Carnum, truly. I've always been the real Carnum, let's be real. Wait, you don't see anyone else being the real Carnum. Let's be real here. I am him. I am that gnome. Ops must have amnesia. They forgot that I'm him. Just got my DNA test back. Turns out I'm 100% him, Elaine. God, thank you, Dracula Flow. What an incredible gift to the internet. Absolutely beautiful. Complete work of art, the whole thing. Yo, Silvera needs to get one more follower to complete their goal. 8 more sub points, but one more follower. Damn. So close. When I need a small reminder, can I find the road? When I'm heavy with my burden, it's tiny bone. All these questions I collected, it brings an answer to my ear. Because my God has a telephone. Hear it ringing in the morning. My God has a telephone. Hear him calling out a warning. But you know, there ain't no fee. I haven't heard this song in a while. It's a good one. Already following? Yeah, same. I was like, well. It's loud and clear. Make a dead man begin to hear. As a telephone, hear it ringing in the morning. My God has a telephone. Hear it calling out a warning. Wasn't anything interesting lately? Trying to think about that actually. I haven't talked about it much, but I've been keeping up with the Drake Kendrick beef. Man, oh God, that was insane, wasn't it? I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, but man, I mean, it's not for me to talk about, to be honest. Just a certain um uh, aspect of myself that does not make me qualified to really comment on it in any other way than to say that Kendrick very clearly won. I mean, I think that's just subjective at this point. Yeah, Drake's getting absolutely bodied right now, and I'm here for it, man. It's been entertaining. Literally, like the day of Not Like Us dropping, I was already seeing memes about it. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then it was recommended to me on YouTube, and I'm like, I remember there was a moment of um why was this recommended to me? Let me just scroll past it. And then I stopped myself and I went, wait, weren't people making memes about this? And then I went and the I watched the video, which was not the music video at the time, it was just the YouTube upload of the song itself. And I'm like, this is insane. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Um and I need to listen to it again. And I did, and I went and listened to all the other songs, and then I started learning all the lore and everything that led up to it. And even now, I'm like looking up. I'll regularly check in and get recommended on YouTube little animations people have made and stuff. God, it's been beautiful. I mean, it's just so cool. If you don't know much about it, hi, I definitely recommend you. There are so many people more qualified than me who have gone and made extensive essays, video essays, just recapping the whole situation and talking about what it means for both the hip hop community as a whole, but also the black community too. And I am happy that there could be something so incredible happening in the year of our Lord 2024. Crazy in a good way. I mean, that's literally what I did for some of the video essays I saw about it, because that's just what I do with all the video essays. Sometimes it gets to be too much, you know? And you got to put it on 1.5 times speed because you genuinely can't understand what the person's saying. But I usually try to do the 2x speed because it's literally faster. I never do that for music though. Music's like a totally different thing. If it's music, or usually even if it's music related, I will play it at normal speed because otherwise it just ruins the song. YouTube video essay though, it's a bit looser. Oh yeah, I was talking about how I was looking into cars, um, and several times now, I've heard mention the Nissan Leaf, and I'm like, what the hell is the Nissan Leaf? It doesn't take much to find out. It's just an electric car, um, and I'm kind of amazed at how cheap it is. I get suspicious when cars are cheap. Yeah, rightfully so, man. There's always something like there's a reason things are priced the way they are, and sometimes it's sometimes a good deal is just this is not really a good deal, but every company that has ever sold you this product has lied about how valuable it is. So when you see what it's truly valued at, you go, "That's way too cheap. That can't possibly be true." But most of the time, it's not like that. Most of the time, it is. Um, oh no, it is just a. This is a scam, or there's something wrong with this thing that you're paying for, and that's why it's so cheap. You know. But I was looking at the prices, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Like a Nissan Leaf from this year, it's going for $29,000. In the world of cars, that's not that's not that bad. And that's for this year, right? Now, That's definitely out of my price range. I'll level with you, right? 100% out of my price range. But if that's what the year of our Lord, I don't know why I'm saying it again, the year of our Lord 2024, if that's the price that this is sitting at, it's not bad. There's stuff out there that's going for way more than that aren't even like luxury vehicles or like Mustangs or whatever. It's just like this is just a car and it's worth more than that for some reason, right? This year. And so then if you look at like older years, it's just like, oh, this is not that bad. But then you got to think about it like, okay, could I have an electric guitar? I should talk to Lou about it. He knows car stuff. Yeah, so like 2023 Nissan Leaf, here's one listed for like 18,000. That's really cheap for last year's model. I mean, come on. That's crazy. Now, very clear that there's something wrong with that one cuz that's like 10k less than this year's model. There's no way. There's definitely something wrong with that one. But still, I mean, it's a decent indicator of like potentially how low of a price I can go if I just go back a few years, you know? Just try to find a reliable car that won't break down. I also don't have any experience with electric guitars. Yeah, electric cars. Yeah, I'm much the same way with that. I've never driven an electric. I've never, to my knowledge, even ridden in an electric. Or I've driven past some Teslas and stuff before. I've probably driven past some Nissan Leafs as well. But just don't know because it's not a car I'm looking out for or noticing. If I get one, I'll probably notice it. But a 2017 Nissan Leaf going for $7,000. Hello? Why is it so cheap? It's got to have something wrong with it, right? It's only had one owner, some service history. Minor damage, see damage report. This is Carfax. I'm looking at. Only 59,000 miles. That's not bad. Damage to right side. It's minor damage. It says it's cosmetic. Why is this going for so cheap, dude? Carfax is listing like no issues with this car. What the hell? Why is it going for so cheap? Hello? I mean, it does say it's in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So maybe there just aren't a lot of EV charging stations in Virginia. Maybe that's all it is, man. And they're just trying to get rid of this thing. That's funny though. I mean, I don't know. It's so cheap and I don't know why. It's really weird, man. I might get one of these, man. The guy who does Garbage Time, that YouTube channel. He also does Dank Pods, the drum thing. He has like another one or two YouTube channels. I don't know how he manages so many channels at the same time. He's got like a million different hobbies, and he has a channel for each one. It's insane. But on his car channel, which I watch, it's like the only car content I consume because I just don't really care that much about cars, despite my name. Um, yeah, he kept mentioning it, one of the cars he had or a family member had or something was a little Nissan Leaf. And then I saw somewhere else somebody mention in a very positive way the Nissan Leaf. And so now I'm like, oh, so this must be like a decent car that people actually like as far as electric vehicles go. And it seems like that's kind of the case. The consensus is just it's a good electric car. Reliable, simple, easy. It's a very standard normal car, but it's only electric. That's the only thing about it. So it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, looking at all these reviews on Carfax, it's like every single year is a 4 out of 5. Not just a 4 out of 5, but like a 4.5 out of 5. A few years where it's like a 4.4, but every other year has been like at least 4.5 or like every year for this car model. And I'm like, wow, okay. Somebody saying the worst thing I'm seeing said about it um, is that it doesn't have a very good range, but like I don't know if I care. I don't drive that far. I don't really have any road trips planned. And maybe it would matter to me more if I drove further. I mean, work is not far from me. Usually drive about 10 or 15 minutes. Occasionally I go to my mom's place, which is about 30 minutes out. But I'm sure that's not that bad either. Holy cow, there's a 2015 going for 5,000. Wow. It's got a long service history, 3 different owners. No accident or damage reported. I don't know how much I believe that. I die every time I make this 6 hour drive back home. Yeah, that's rough, man. That's rough. I'm gonna ask Lou what his thoughts are on the Nissan Leaf. I don't think he's awake right now, or maybe he is. I don't know. No, 6 hours is like a really long drive, but like as far as a road trip goes, it's pretty standard. But having to do it consistently would be a nightmare. Diego, thank you so much for the follow. Gabunked, my guy. There we go. I wonder if Lou is going to respond or if he's just fake online. He's on Do Not Disturb on Discord, so that could mean he's asleep or it could mean he's just not. I don't know. Yeah, well, you're welcome here, Diego. You're welcome to hang out as long as you like. Hey. I watch a Japanese streamer and it's a one-sided conversation. Yeah, I do too. Sometimes I'll watch a stream that I don't understand the language for, and I'll be like, I'll do my best. I'll really try to enjoy it as much as I can, but it can be a little hard sometimes, especially when you really just don't know the language. But it can still be fun. Repeat at least 3 times. Let's see. Hmm. Ay, ay, ay. It's so hot in my room. It was raining all day today. It was raining. Oh God. I had to walk through the rain all the way to work from the parking lot, and it was not fun. And then when uh when I was done with work, I had to walk back through the rain because it hadn't stopped. It was still raining. So had a great time just never being just not being dry today. That was rough, man. That was rough. I don't know. And yet somehow it's still so hot. It's just so hot outside despite being so wet and rainy. I speak Spanish and I don't do it well either. That's funny. I Same thing for me, but with English. I should have taken Spanish in high school. see. I don't know what to do, man. I'm just I'm like melting. It's so hot right now. But we keep turning the air conditioning off at night. Just letting the temperature be whatever it is outside. Nice to meet you too. I don't know. It's so warm. And just dealing with that. I don't know. I appreciate when new people drop by. I really do. But um occasionally there'll be folks who drop in and they seem to have the wrong idea about uh you know what kind of stream we do here, which is fair. Lots of streams are different. um like I was fully ready to just let them hang out and and whatever, but this is not their stream. This is mine. So I'm not gonna sit and repeat myself 5 times so that they can understand my one thing that I'm saying. And I appreciate them trying. It's nice of them to consider it, but um I think they should have maybe dropped by somebody who they could have an easier time doing that kind of thing with. I've had people. Yeah, I not even necessarily any English learning stream, but I think it can be good to try to communicate with the streamer, but I don't know. And it's a good experience to sit and watch and listen to them talk and whatnot. But I don't know. I can't just focus on them as the sole viewer here and just talk to them back and forth. I mean, you're also here first of all, but then also like I just have other things I'd like to be talking about and doing. And not always, but I like to think of myself as being pretty eloquent as well. Um, Not always. I use a lot of slang. I use a lot of improper English, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. I don't know if I'm necessarily great for entry level English learning, or even intermediate. Sometimes I get a little complicated here and there. And I only say this about myself because at times it's a bit of a fault. Not like, oh, I'm too smart. I'm suffering because I'm too smart. Not, I don't mean it like that, but like I will talk to people and they'll kind of tease me about the way I phrase something, and I'll go, oh yeah, I guess that was a bit of a silly way to phrase it. I could have been a lot more direct and straightforward and not said it in such a overly complicated way. It's just my own. That's just the way I am. I don't think I'm a very good entry level English speaker stream. You know, I don't think that's me. I think that's very much somebody else, and I hope they find that somebody else. But also, yeah, I don't want to cater to one guy in chat the whole time, for the sake of a conversation. You know, if we were talking face to face, I think I'd be more okay with something like that. But since it's over text on his end, and then I have to repeat myself several times. I'm playing music and stuff, I'm talking fast sometimes, There's a discussion. If he misses something, that's on him to miss that. And that's a lesson for him to learn, you know. If I were watching a Japanese streamer, I'm not going to ask them to repeat what they said every single time they say something, you know? But at the same time, he was also typing very well, so it's hard to know. You always put your best face on. He could have been using Google Translate or whatever. But he was typing so well that I was like, well, I don't know what level of speech to be on here to accommodate you. I don't know. He said he speaks Spanish, but he doesn't speak it well either. Yeah, I think he meant that more in a jokey way, Like the whole joke about how, like, Americans don't speak English as their first language, they speak American. It's like, it is my primary language. Am I good at it? Nah. I understand it. It was a good joke, but um yeah, I don't know. It was hard for me to tell, like, okay, is he understanding anything I'm saying, or is he understanding some of what I'm saying, or is he understanding most of what I'm saying, but like maybe there's just too much music and fast talking and he needs more time to process. I don't know. If I were talking face to face, it'd be a lot clearer, you know, what I should be doing to help accommodate him. But since it's over text, it's like he needs to expect less from me, man. I can't be doing that. Anyway, I don't know. I shouldn't be harping on this too long. I don't mean anything mean by it, of course. I wish him luck, but I just don't think this is going to be a good experience for him. Not right now, at least. Ay. Also, I don't know. I might be ending stream kind of soon here. I don't know. I'm just about out of things to talk about. I don't really have a lot going on. All the different stuff that's stressing me out is going on, but nothing actually happening. Of course, I don't know. Oh, you know what? I was gonna check up on. You said the gift on throne, and I was gonna see how that's going. I haven't heard much word back on that. I saw that like it didn't quite go through properly or something. Wait, what? Hold on. Wait, what? It just says I have a balance. Okay. I thought it was going towards that chocolate. What happened? Oh wait, no. I remember. There's like a thing about how it's like this product's no longer available. Would you like to replace it with a different product? And I was like, I guess. And so I replaced it with the same product, but like it was a new page for the product. And I thought it went through. Did it not go through? I guess not. to singing songs. But wait, when I look at my gifts, it says like I received the chocolate, but I definitely did not. Oh, my address is there, so like if I get something, it should go. That kind of sucks. It would have been nice to have like a little test thing. So why do I have a balance if it says it went through? Oh, maybe it didn't actually go through. Hold on, let me try. God, this is so weird. Request contains an invalid URL. Great. Okay. So I can't actually look at that. Cool. All right. Well, I guess I just got a donation from you, Hi, instead of a gift. Even though that's like the whole point is that it's supposed to be a gift. Whatever. Thanks for the donation. Uh, I think it was my fault for finding an item on Amazon instead of finding an item through Throne it specifically. No problem. Totally what you meant. Um, Curious if there's like just a different thing I could replace it with that would be similar in price. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure this out, I guess. I could also just put it towards one of the other things. I have no idea. I could put it towards one of my things, either the emote commissions or maybe the CPU. Hi, if I were to turn the money you sent into one of those two things specifically, do you have a preference for which one it would be? Because I think turning it into a gift of chocolate might be a lot of a pain, actually, to go through. Just between the CPU and the emote commissions. Do I have a preference? Okay. Uh, But it's technically okay. So I think what happened is I think it technically gave it to me to my account. So now I have a balance on the account. So if I threw it into the emote commissions thing, I'd basically be giving myself money from the account, but the money came from you. So, but the emote commissions, I'd have to withdraw the money to get it. So I feel like putting it into the CPU makes more sense because it's going towards a product. So I'm gonna try doing that. Maybe 1605 is the amount it had left over. 1605. Okay, so there is a fee. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just let it sit as a balance and I'll withdraw it or something. Because I think it would actually be worse if I did that. Maybe I should just think about this later. I might just end up withdrawing that money and then just going and buying myself some chocolate. Maybe throwing isn't as good of a solution as I thought it was. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's right. I wasn't gonna set that up. Let me worry about this some other time. I'll let that money sit there for now. I'm sure I'll think about it later. This is becoming more and more complicated, and I'm just sitting here in silence trying to figure it out on stream. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe now's not a good time. I don't know. Oh yeah. All right. Well, it's getting late enough. I think it's just time to go. I had a good time though. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Hi. It's always a nice feeling. You know, get those streams every once in a while that I talk about where it's just like there's just nothing going on. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and skip to our outro song. We're going to hear Goner by Dr. Dog. That'll be nice. Good little song off one of their older albums. Dude, I'm so excited, actually. That's something I should look forward to. They're releasing a new album, I think, on the 15th of this month. I thought it was last month, and then 15th came and went, and I was like, what the hell happened? But no, the 15th of this month, they're releasing a new album. Very excited for it. The songs released so far are great. All of them are really good. So, looking forward to it. This is Goner by Dr. Dog. This will be the outro song for the night. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry, that's a little loud. I'll see you later. Go watch Silver's stream when my stream's over. All right, bye.